This is Witchspace News for Friday the 25th of July 2025. I'm Commander Burr. In a bumper Elite Dangerous news this week, Frontier drops a teaser image of the next new ship to enter the game. We take a look at the week's challenges and triumphs as the Panther Clipper Mk2 finally arrives. The credits hose is firing again in a new month-long community goal, and that same CG has a unique module reward that you currently can't obtain anywhere else. If you enjoy our videos, consider subscribing to the channel and remember to ping the little bell to make sure you see all our content and community posts. And if you'd like to help support our channel, links to our Patreon and everything else are in the description below. By this point in your Elite Dangerous week, you'll almost certainly be aware that a new ship called, what was it? Let me check my notes here. Yes, here we are. The Panther Clipper Mk2 entered the game this week in Ark's fueled early access. There's no two ways about it, the Panther is far and away the community's most requested ship in the entire history of Elite Dangerous. The legendary heavily armed bulk hauler first appeared in the sequel to the original Elite, Frontier Elite 2 in 1993 on the Commodore Amiga, the Atari ST as well as the PC. And if you're a veteran of those early days of computing, there's a nice Easter egg on the dashboard of the Mk2 in the shape of a low poly model of the original Panther Clipper from Elite 2. Our thanks go to Darth Pirate for pointing that little gem out to us. For the modern game, the Panther Mk2 has been reimagined to fit the Elite Dangerous universe and is now capable of fielding a ship launched fighter alongside its 10 hardpoints while still delivering over 1,000 tons of cargo with a shield. If you want to ditch the extra internals however and also run shieldless, the new Zorgon Peterson Panther can bring home 1,238 tons of cargo, interdiction powered pirate interruptions notwithstanding of course. We'll have more on that max cargo top end in a moment by the way. As has been the case with the previous new ships introduced into the game since they started arriving in 2024, the Zorgon Peterson Panther Clipper Mk2 launch was accompanied by a flurry of fanfare that includes a shiny sales brochure style trailer. Frontier have been getting better and better at these trailers, and the Panther trailer ups the ante yet again with flashy multiple panels and cool in-world text that obscures everything else in the scene except the ship. You can see some of that trailer running on screen now, and if you want to see the full video sales pitch you'll find it linked below. As was the case with the previous new ship, the Gutamaya Corsair, which you can now obtain free in the game just using in-game credits by the way, the Panther also launched with a slick webpage all of its own, extolling the features and virtues the massive ship comes packed with. It's worth bearing in mind the stats for boost, speed and jump range etc take no account of using any careful builds and engineering etc, so your mileage will almost certainly vary, but it's the baseline you're starting with. If you haven't yet seen what we managed to get out of the Panther when we had a sneak preview last week, then you'll find that video linked on screen now. It's worth noting as well that, as we pointed out in our video, the preview versions we get access to are often not the finished product, and as we suspected might happen, some of the issues noted by ourselves and other partner program content creators, including weapon fire clipping through the hull and some problems with the SRV deployment, were already dealt with when the ship actually entered the production version of the game. The ship isn't without the odd wrinkle, most notably your distance to target indicator on the HUD overlay has a very bright light situated right behind it on the dashboard, making it completely unreadable. But that's a minor niggle in what overall is an extremely capable and fun vessel to fly. Whilst either ARC's early access unlock option will get you a free Panther Clipper to deploy and an exclusive Owners Club decal that won't be available after the early access period ends, if you want a second Panther Clipper in the game, that will set you back a cool 250 to 300 million or so credits, depending on what discounts are available to you, and that's without then outfitting it, which will absolutely push the price up significantly north of $1 billion credits. We ran a completely unscientific poll on this very YouTube channel that also seems to indicate that the uptake of the vessel, certainly in its opening days, has been very good, with, at the time of recording, around 54% of the roughly 4,000 respondents either owning one already or planning to buy it in early access, with a further 12% as yet undecided. Away from the Panther as a vessel specifically, there appears to have been some work done on the game's rendering system, with many commanders quickly noting that the night vision shader at the very least has been changed, making its appearance generally overall much sharper. One very important note to be aware of is that the Panther itself appears to have introduced a new shadow and light flickering effect that is so extreme it might now border into the realm of being potentially harmful to anyone with any kind of photosensitivity. The effect doesn't always appear and, for us at least, has been quite challenging to reproduce with any consistency. So far we've seen it appear both outside and inside the ship. We are going to show the effect we're talking about on screen, so if you are sensitive to such things, please look away now and I'll tell you when it's safe to look back. Ready? Here it comes. Okay, you're safe to look back now. This is of course aside from the already extremely challenging issues with shadows flickering and wobbling or just plain switching off and on that was introduced in the heady days of update 18 way back at the start of 2024 that are particularly apparent on planetary surfaces. That issue was raised yet again on the forums this week. It also appears that someone either hasn't been paying the electricity bill in fleet carrier hangars or all the light bulbs were stolen when the Panther was being deployed, as descending into a fleet carrier hangar at the time of recording is akin to cave diving. Regardless of what ship you have active at the time, if you're in a carrier hangar it's in darkness. On the plus side, it really shows off the new night vision shader, he said, stretching for a positive. If you are in a fleet carrier hangar looking up at your ship in night vision, it currently looks like a scene from Tron. I'm obviously being somewhat facetious with a lot of this stuff, but it's important to underline that we sincerely hope that some of the newfound revenue stream Frontier is seeing from all of the newly deployed ships etc is funnelled back into fixing stuff that, whilst ultimately might not be a direct revenue earner for them, is exceedingly important when it comes to building and maintaining new and existing players alike. I'm sure in Frontier and Elite's newfound financial reality, investment into the game and its overall health is an issue a lot of the community will be monitoring very closely going forward. You'll find the issue trackers for everything I've spoken about here linked below if you'd like to contribute to them yourself. Off the back of the Panther Clipper launch this week, a new community goal arrived on Thursday and, as you'd perhaps expect, it's completely hauling centric. After all, what better way to show your players the true value of their newly purchased Uber hauler than an opportunity to generate huge amounts of in-game wealth by hauling. And generate wealth you will, even without a Panther, as the CG goods being sold to Starlace Station in the Minerva system all have a 10 times multiplier on their sell prices. Not only that, but the community goal is being run for a full 4 weeks. This is absolutely one of those occasional massive wealth generating CGs that we see in the game, and if you've been struggling to find the money for a fleet carrier of your own for example, this is perhaps an opportunity that you might not want to let slip by. We're wondering if this might be a deliberate plan by Frontier to get more wealth into the game in preparation for squadron owned fleet carriers in the Vanguard's update next month. As well as generating huge amounts of in-game wealth, the community goal is offering a red metallic brewer themed decal, but also something else hugely valuable: engineered cargo racks that have increased capacity over regular cargo racks. This is very significant as it's something that isn't currently possible to engineer yourself, buy or unlock anywhere else in the game. Just for one delivery to the CG you'll qualify for a Class 5 and a Class 6 cargo rack that have 35% increased capacity over regular racks. That takes them from carrying 32 tonnes and 64 tonnes respectively to 43 tonnes and 86 tonnes respectively. Not only that, however, at the end of the 4-week duration, if you're in the top 75%, you will also get a second set of the same cargo racks to install in the hauling vessel of your choice, and the difference is absolutely worth having. For the Panther Clipper, a full 2 sets of both cargo racks would take the ship's maximum hauling capacity from 1,238 tonnes to 1,304 tonnes. For a hauling dedicated Imperial cutter, the maximum hauling capacity would go from 794 tonnes to 860 tonnes. If hauling is your thing, more is obviously better, making acquisition of 2 sets of these racks an extremely attractive proposition. There's no two ways about it, this CG has absolutely been designed and engineered specifically to encourage more sales of the Panther Clipper, and in offering the cargo rack rewards for essentially spending money in the game, Frontier is pushing extremely close, possibly over, the line of pay to win. It's not that you can't get a special module, but it will certainly be much easier if you pay ARX for a Panther Clipper. Should the modules be available at a tech broker for materials after the CG, then of course that's a different issue, but FDEV haven't yet said either way if that's the case. Whilst we're behind FDEV making perfectly reasonable revenue gains and encouraging sales in Elite Dangerous to secure its future, it's undoubtedly the case that the boardroom is going to push the envelope in that regard as much as possible to see what they can get away with, whilst still hanging on to the goodwill and respect of the player base, something they honestly haven't always been great at historically. Over-deployment of any pay-to-win tactics will, however, lead to an extremely egregious ecosystem around the game, and all we can hope is that Frontier maintains a keen eye on the community sentiment going forward. As we were going to press today, Frontier dropped a teaser image of what we're guessing is going to be the next new ship to enter the game this autumn, and you can see that image on screen now. It obviously doesn't automatically follow, but the simple fact that we're seeing the ship presented in an asteroid field does make me wonder if FDEV is hinting at the game's first mining centric vessel, and whilst the scale is difficult to call precisely, it certainly looks quite big. The next edition of Frontier Unlocked is almost upon us again and should be dropping next week on Wednesday the 30th of July. It's almost certainly the case that, barring any unforeseen delays, this will be the final Frontier Unlocked before the Vanguards update arrives in the game, so we're hopeful that we'll hear more about what Vanguards will bring and when we can expect to see it deployed, but also there's now every chance that we could hear more about this new mystery vessel. Whatever the case, when we know, we'll bring it to you right here. What do you think the new ship might be? Are you participating in the community goal, and how do you feel about the community goal rewards? Let us know in the comments below. That's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back later this week with more videos. Until then, 07 Commanders, follow the greens on the way out and do keep clear of the toast rack. We very much look forward to seeing you next time.